Hey you guys, it is William calling from wiwibloggs, and Ukraine have had a national selection, always serving drama, songs, staging, and they're doing all of this in the middle of a war. The fact that they can pull off a show like this is an incredible statement on the broadcaster, their commitment to the show, to Eurovision. So just want to start by saying, well done, Ukraine. Shout out to Oksana, incredible HOD. All right, Ziferblat have won. Their song is Bird of Prey. But that is not Bird of Prey, P-R-E-Y. It's Bird of Prey, P-R-A-Y. Devon.
Hey, you guys. Hey, William.
Should we listen and react?
Let's do this.
All right, you guys, to be clear, this is my second time viewing this. And I'm gonna be honest, the first time I watched it, I didn't know what was going on. But then I read an explanation, or rather I listened to an explanation on the Vidbir cast podcast from my colleague at wiwibloggs, Rinska. Hey, Rinska. And her colleague, Devin. That is Devin, not Debun. In any case, worth checking out. This song is essentially about home. It's about a bird flies away from home, a bird comes home, and all the feelings that go with that. Hitting play.
Oh, Bird of Prey.
Like that purple hue.
Prey, A-Y.
Ooh, a voice! She can sing!
Wow. That raw vocal is being produced live on stage.
Oh, wow. It's like a march in the 1960s. We protest!
Good harmony.
The harmony is excellent.
Unique sounds. Unique to Ukraine, honey.
The colors are so 60s mod. Austin Powers.
There's a very funk sensibility here. Very 70s. Psychedelic almost.
Now it's in English. It took me a second to figure out the language.
Wow.
Progressive rock will have an audience. I like this part. She's excellent, that woman. Work, hunty!
That was a good fashion runway moment.
Fashion baby. It's almost space age. These
vocals are really important to this project.
Like Star Trek.
Oh, it's in English now a little bit. This is big, isn't it? Something quite big about this. Good instrumental section.
The instrumental section is appropriate. This fits very well.
I really like what they've done with the stage, actually.
Oh.
It's like they're in their own...
Some tension.
Botanic universe.
Some pain. He needs this bird to come home. Oh, that's nice.
Wow.
I like this singer. He's endearing. Oh, that's a beautiful shot.
My little bird, sing, baby, sing.
And she's back, giving us sunlight. Wow. She's incredible. Yes. She is a songbird.
Wow. It's not even been 24 hours yet, and there's over 500,000 views on this clip. My God, people do love it. I'm just not one of them.
Well, the first time I heard this song, I have to admit, I was slightly underwhelmed. I was a little bored. But having learned the meaning through Vidbir cast, thank you to Rinska and Devin, and having seen the interview with Vova, who was covering Vidbir for wiwibloggs, and this notion of freedom, the light will return after the darkness. Ukrainians have left the country, they've gone abroad, people miss them, they are that bird perhaps, and then this singer is calling the bird home. That's very beautiful. And I think that if you know that, the song feels special. However, if you don't know that, it could be a little sleepy. Now, putting the message to the side, even now when I watch it, I don't dislike it, but I'm also not like, yes. So I'm just really in the middle. And I think when a song's in the middle at Eurovision, that's not a good place to be. And that's not what I associate with Ukraine. When I think of Ukraine, I always think of the whoa, the oh my God, not the sort of, oh, that's nice. Whereas this, I'm like, oh, that's nice.
Okay, so coming into Vidbir this year, I actually reviewed the whole selection. Check out the video on wiwibloggs. This was not in my top 3. But one thing I really do like about Ukraine is that Ukraine understands visuals, even under very tough circumstances and deep budget constraints. They've still managed to create something visually spectacular. I love how it leans in the 70s. The sound as well very much is of the 60s. And, the wardrobe choices, everything about this is very vintage, but, the colors are very joyful. I like the lavender and the plants sort of, put on stage. The bell bottoms. This is really straddling decades. Not my kind of music. I don't really get it. And, sometimes I feel like in Eurovision, all hands are not equal, right? You've got the big 5 who automatically qualify regardless of how terrible some of their entries are. But you also have countries like Ukraine that is so much loved. And I love Ukraine too. But we're talking biased love, right? Because I kid you not, if Slovenia had sent this, or even Poland, it may be a different outcome. But because it's Ukraine, no doubt this would probably qualify at Eurovision.
Things to consider. First of all, I do love this lead singer. The face really carries emotion. You feel the yearning. I think there's some great shots. I love the female, would you call her the backing vocalist? I mean, she plays a central role, I think, in giving this the power. Like a lot of the power comes from her. That's very nice. And I think the staging has good potential. Like when you think of Ukraine, you think of yellow stripe on the flag, blue stripe on the flag, right? So the fields of Ukraine and then the blue sky. And like they kind of hint at that, right? You see the flowers, you see the garden, and then you see in the background the sky, the vista. You see the sun swelling. Maybe that bird is flying home. Again, the light drives out the darkness. The symbolism here is very clear with the war going on. So they can play with all this on stage in Basel. They can use this and create something powerful because Ukraine is going to turn it up with staging when we get to Basel. They always do. The only time I've not really liked Ukrainian staging was in 2017 when O Torvald had a big ol' head, and that was about it. But pretty much every other time, Ukraine has nailed the staging. So we know this will elevate, and frankly, we know this will qualify because Ukraine always qualifies. Ukraine, because of the staging, the way they'll marry this, it will work. They're competing in the first half of the first semifinal, and yes, Sweden are there, but Ukraine has always qualified. So, and Sweden hasn't always qualified. So yeah, I'm feeling good for Ukraine making it through. Is this my favorite entry from Ukraine ever? At this point, no. At this point, this would be one of my least favorite entries from Ukraine since I started following the contest closely in 2009. But again, this is not the final product. Ukraine has a habit of tweaking for the contest because they want to slay hard. Heck, Maria Yaremchuk, ooh girl, she showed you how a revamp is done.
Ziferblat are a very unique band. I mean, they were in Vidbir last year, and I've actually gone ahead and listened to some of their entries. Sorry, not entries, some of their songs from their catalogue I remember last year. And, they're not shy to experiment. And they're very daring at it. And they are very good performers as well, particularly when performing live. So vocally, I know that this will be on point. It's just a case of, if this is your bag, you're gonna love it, right? But if it isn't, there's enough visual here to keep you engaged and locked. I mean, I salute what they're doing and, you know, I respect it. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this reshapes on the road to Basel.
I want to read some comments from the wiwibloggs website. And I should point out, these are the most voted for comments. So they have risen to the top of the crowded comment section. F. Themio says, of all the songs Ukraine could have chosen, such a shame. Will says, this song is just not the genre that Eurovision fandom is used to. Too progressive rock for the fans. From my observation, the ESC fandom prefers ethnic bops and something with a certain cheese factor. They can also go for something challenging like Ireland 2024, that's Bambi Thug, and Portugal 2019. That's Conan Osiris. But that doesn't mean it is a bad song or performance. Personally, I like it. I think it will qualify on its own merit. Thanos replies, completely agree. Eurovision is at its strength when a variety of genres are present. God forbid if every year only bops take part in the contest to keep a specific part of the fandom happy. Ziferblat for me are a lovely addition to the contest and an up to now dire year. Emily says, I feel like I'm the only one who absolutely loves Ziferblat. Haha, I'm very happy with the results, but I would have been fine sending Masha or Finka. Great national final from Ukraine as always. Oh, Rinska 10 Veen, wiwiblogger, and Vidbir cast creator, says, the winner's speech was very strong too. Essentially, Danya, the lead singer, said that he was glad that the public broadcaster and others give so much attention and love to Ukrainian music nowadays. He said that there was a renaissance of Ukrainian music after 2014, and right now there's a second renaissance. What I appreciated is that he also noted that many groups similar to theirs did not get this opportunity or support and kind of faltered, so he kind of considered himself lucky in that respect, and was well aware that it wasn't always easy for Ukrainian musicians to get this stage. And we should also point out, in an earlier interview with Rinska, they said that they were showing how Ukraine, even though it was under Soviet occupation for so many decades, even in the 80s and 90s, they were looking west, he said. He said, you know, even before that, they loved things like the Beatles, and he wanted to show how Ukrainian music has always been exploring, you know, borrowing, integrating, creating. So you could say the song very much Ukrainian, but also kind of winks to songs from the past. David says, first time I don't connect at all with a Ukrainian entry. Congratulations anyway. Stig Carlson Fan Club says, great choice from Ukraine. The song and vocals are a winner. The staging is the only thing that needs to change, but Ziferblat have got time to do this and probably will. Disappointed the Eurovision fandom doesn't see what Ukrainians see in this song. It's beautiful and made me cry the first time I heard it. The casual audience has more of an ability to connect with it. Don't write this song off. That is a good point. For casual viewers, casual listeners, people from outside the fandom, this might have great appeal. It will certainly sound like nothing else. And indeed, maybe the general public does not expect the ethnic bop that many Eurovision fans like myself absolutely love. So hey, yeah. But Zip disagrees. They say, clearly the worst Ukrainian entry in their history and the worst of weak choices for ESC 2025. Is he related to some rich people? Because I can't see it being chosen by neither people nor jury. There must have either been a mistake, technical issue with voting, or corruption. There was no corruption here. Okay, let's be clear. This contest was held fair and square. Ziferblat are very popular. They are very popular, and clearly they have their fans. All right, well, that's what we think. What do you think? Are you living for Bird of Prey? Did the message hit you instantly? Did it take a few listens? What changes or advice would you suggest for Basel? Let us know here on wiwibloggs.
Follow wiwibloggs on Pinterest, and we will see you later.
And we'll see you later. Bye.